welcome everybody. Here we are back with Call of Cthulhu, The Incredible Adventures of the Unsinkable Alice Baker, Simmon, Strand, Part 4. It is the evening of the Sunday of your first week of your stay, or the only week of your stay, because you arrived on the Friday. It seems like you've been here forever, but it's only really been pretty much 48 hours at this stage. It's around about 5 o'clock. You have found out quite an interesting piece of information about dear Mr. Morton, who doesn't seem to be the gentleman that everybody thinks he is, or that you thought he was. He's a misogynist pig and a bigot, and he's not there. You have not found Matthew. Gregory is still missing. You have found out that Mr. Morton has lied to you because he said he had nothing to do with the Roland farmstead. But now you know that he's actually bought it, and Matthew has informed him that there is no way of suppressing its past to keep this information from tourists, because apparently Mr. Morton wants to build some kind of holiday, I don't know, maybe a hotel or something, or a resort there. But there is no way, Matthew has informed him legally, to suppress the information that this is actually, or this was, a place where a whole family got slaughtered. Speaking of slaughtered families, you have encountered the slaughtered son, Albert, who is an apparition now haunting you, apparently. Nobody else in Simmon Strand has mentioned seeing him, but you have seen him on 2 occasions at least. And he's also talked to you, and you've had a vision of his demise and how he was murdered by 2 black-clad crow men. Human beings that look like human beings, but they have claws of crows for hands, and they basically just specialize in slitting people's throats. And lastly, his twin sister was rescued by Carl Miller. Mm-hmm. And you actually found Carl Miller's dead body on your first morning, because he is the sailor that was found on the beach. And you have uncovered that Carl persuaded his parents to adopt or take little Eve Roland in, and they have taken her in, but they have sold the farm on her behalf using their power of attorney. So because she's only like 11 or something, and she's also missing, presumed kidnapped. But the law in these here parts, Bruce Flanagan knows exactly who took her, because it was you, obviously. He's as sharp as a knife, and after he interviewed you, he came to the conclusion that it was the weird lady with the weapons and the pants from New York. And he's ready to arrest you as soon as you make a wrong move, but we'll see how that pans out. You have been to the Roland's farmstead, but you've not been able to go inside. It's being lived in by some woman somewhere between 40 and 60 who looks very unhealthy and probably has an alcohol problem. You don't really know what she's doing there, but she's told you that it's okay that she's here because she has been she's got the right to be here, and Mr. Morton has given her this right. And you've also broken into his office, where you have uncovered all kinds of things, the things that I've just talked about. Yeah, and he's bought a private island off the coast, very close to the coast, and he's planning on building a marina there. And you were also shot at. Your house was pelted with a brick, and you got a message to leave town, and you basically decided, we'll see about that. And you took a shot at the person driving, or the person sitting beside the driver, and you hit one of them. Mm-hmm. And you found the truck, and there's blood in the truck. And it's also parked on Mr. Morton's parking lot. So, who knows?
Who knows?
And
police will definitely not help to solve this.
They have their suspect. There is no reason to investigate any further. Dottie has been sent home. She's been busy preparing the dinner, and so yeah, you're standing there next to the rented car with the car keys in your hand. What do you do?
I'm already at the chalet, right?
No, you're still in town, so basically...
Okay, in town. I'm just getting into the car and driving to the chalet.
As you arrive, you can see that, of course, the Martins' house, the Martin family's house, was also the center of an attack, but theirs was a lot worse in terms of somebody broke in and spilled blood all over the place, and the stench of coppery blood, and basically this needs to be completely redone. So as you arrive, the Martins said that they were going to move out, stay the night at the hotel in town, Murphy's Hotel, and then take the next possible train into New York. But the Sterlings are still there. And you can also see their car is parked there. And you can see that there's, it's still light, so there wouldn't be any light out, but the car's there, so they may be in, maybe they've gone for a walk, who knows. The window is still broken, but somehow Dottie has organized some plywood somehow, and she has somebody has nailed it shut, so that at least it's not open and exposed to the elements.
I'm glad to have her, and I'm also glad I didn't take her with me on the little excursion to Morton's office. So I'll just unlock the door, step inside, and just call out Dottie.
She is actually not in front of the cooking range, but it's not like she's not there. You can see that the table has been laid, and you can hear movement upstairs, and let's see if she actually hears you. With a 40, yes, I do believe she does. Is this is listen, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, she does. And you can hear a shout from upstairs, coming! And she presently comes down the stairs.
While she comes down, I'm probably on my way to the bar to pour myself a drink.
Yeah, the bar that you brought from New York, because who knows what kind of whiskey they've got here. Interestingly enough, she has changed. Well, she's changed clothes. She's still the same person. This is Cthulhu. She's now got tentacles.
Be weird,
no, she's changed. She's wearing a white dress with flower imprints.
You look beautiful, my dear. Do you expect visitors?
No, unless you invited someone, in which case we might have a problem with the food.
No, don't worry. I did not invite anyone.
No, I just felt that, it's still quite warm today, and, I just felt a little bit like summer. So this is a dress that I bought last year in the sales. It was quite, I like to thrift, but I just couldn't walk past it because I thought, those green flowers look exactly like my eyes.
It looks marvelous on you. It's well paid money.
And so I just thought, I can't really wear this in New York because it would be very unbecoming for a maid, but out here, nobody can see me. So, I didn't mean that you were nobody. I apologize.
All good.
So you said I should surprise you. So I have tried to surprise you. So we're going to have steak with broccoli, jacket potatoes, with a cucumber yogurt dressing.
That sounds amazing.
And we also have a dessert, but that's going to be a surprise. So, have you found Matthew or anything about him?
Well, I found quite a bit. Mr. Morton is not the nice guy he seems to play. We should be careful around him.
Why? Well, I mean, what? He was so helpful all the time, and I mean, he gave a gift hamper to the newlyweds, and he let people stay here for free, and...
Well, let's say I found some papers and information. He, bought the farmstead. He blankly lied to us.
That's not nice.
Estate. Also, Matthew gave him some information about that they will not be able to cover the history of the place. and so Matthew definitely was in on knowing that Mr. Morton planned something with the farmstead. Not sure what, maybe beauty place or holiday space. I have no idea.
Well, good for Matthew. I mean, if it's illegal, then he as a lawyer should not encourage this in any way.
The question is now for me, does Mr. Morton know where Matthew is? Because Matthew knew too much. Also, Mr. Morton bought an island just outside that he wanted to change into a marina. Also, there Matthew was involved into the paperwork. Obviously, that's why he was here.
Well, that in and of itself isn't illegal.
No, it's not. But, well, the question is where Matthew is. And I have two suspicions at the moment. Either the crazy lady is hiding them or taking care of him, and maybe also the girl missing in the farmstead, or they're on the island, best case, if they're not dead somewhere.
Holy Mother of Jesus, and she blesses herself.
Also, my dear, Mr. Morton is kind of an extremist. I found some stuff around him. He definitely does not approve of my ways. I am surprised that he's holding up that well, that he's staying friendly to me.
Maybe he's afraid that you might find out something, and if he aggravates your feelings even more, you might become unstoppable. The problem is you are already unstoppable. He's not able to read you properly, I'm afraid. Which is a good thing.
It is. He is highly religious, but in the extreme way. He's a son of Abraham. I even found like a code that looks like from a cult, or I have no idea what is happening here, but there's a lot around here. So honestly, I am very tempted. Not sure if we should to move tomorrow towards the hotel and stay there. Although that might trigger a warning to Mr. Morton that we suspect maybe something. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, at the moment, he's not even at home. Didn't his butler say that he expected him to come back sometime tonight?
Yeah, I suspect he was maybe out on the island.
But what I don't get is why would he take the girl? Because if the girl is an orphan, but you know, she has no... She doesn't own the farmstead anymore. It was sold, you said.
Maybe she remembers something from when her brother was.
You think he's involved in that as well?
Maybe. I'm not sure. These weird black clothed people could be anything. But
remember that they had a cross, kind of like a washed out white cross on. What if this is a religious thing?
Yeah, I'm suspecting that maybe it is. Because it is somehow linked. We are talking about the Roland farmstead. I'm seeing apparitions of the dead boy. The girl is missing. Her kind of brother, adoptive brother, however, the family that took them in, the son is dead. It
Now
all
she's
circles around the farmstead and Morton. So we will need to figure something out tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, I would say, we go on a little boat trip.
I'm pretty sure that the harbour master would be able to help us.
I hope so. For the right payment, if we could get someone to drive us out to the island, just to have a snoop around.
How about we check out the island on the map and see if there's anything in the guidebook that you got? I mean, you got a recent guidebook about the area. Maybe it's even a beauty spot or something. Maybe they described it somehow. We could find out something about it.
Give me 5 minutes. I will change into something nicer to match your lovely outfit. I will grab the book and then let's start eating. And Alice will just basically run into up to a room, just quickly slide into a nice summer dress and grab the book and then return. And
while you're upstairs, it does take you a couple of minutes. Basically, she has started to present the food, so it's all kind of like laid out, and she's basically cut up the steak into slices, so it's like strips actually, and she's put them kind of like a fan onto each plate, and then put the broccoli around it, and then a jacket potato cut open, and then the dressing is in there, and it does look quite nice as well, so it doesn't just look tasty, it also looks appealing to the eye, as it were.
And it's extremely tasty, as always.
It is very nice, actually, yeah. She is, the cook at your mother's house, where she first learned how to cook, has been teaching her really well.
I would maybe even say she's outstanding her now. She's better. I definitely got the better end of that.
Probably, yes. And there's, of course, she made lemonade, because obviously she's never a drinker anyway, but I think she's had a lot of wine and alcohol recently, so she's actually sticking to the lemon lemonade, and it's cold, but she has chilled some red wine. No, actually you don't chill red wine, you only chill white wine. She does have red wine.
Okay, so I will take a bit, but just the decent amount for dinner, and not to get drunk. That is something for the whiskey later.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's actually very pleasant. The food is good, and you take your good time. She says, well, the Martins actually said goodbye before they left, and they left something for you as well. I put it over there. It's wrapped. I think it's a book.
In between dinner steps, I would just stand up and grab the package from the Martins and sit back down at the table and carefully open it.
It is it's a bit of a strange book. Well, I mean, not strange in terms of it's not the Necronomicon. It is 1001 Secret Gardens of New York City, and it describes gardens. You're not sure if it really contains 1001, but it's almost like public places, private spaces. So private spaces, public places. It's when there are some houses that have decided to open their gardens to people, and it contains a lot of drawings. So this book was actually quite expensive to produce and to buy. And it's got a little, basically they've written a little something for you saying, maybe this will brighten your days when you're back in New York, because you seem to like the greenery out here. Unfortunately, it was less pleasant than you may have expected. And signed the Martins.
That is a nice gift. I didn't even know there were so many gardens in New York City. That would be interesting to, bit by bit, visit them and check them out.
Yeah, and some of them you see are actually indoor gardens, so they're kind of like really big conservatories that are open to the public. Dottie looks at it and says, that's actually a really interesting gift.
It's also quite expensive gift. Now I'm getting curious, if the Martins talked to our dear librarian friend because he knows we were interested in his garden.
Perhaps.
Or it really seems like the Martins are more working class. Maybe.
Maybe he's... Well, yes, but what if one of them works in the gardening area?
Maybe.
We never asked them, did we?
I didn't want to, because
no,
they
but I mean,
were
excuse
playing
me,
the part of being well situated, and they were obviously not. Although they are really well, the children are really well behaved. So
It could well be that this is very close to their heart as well. And I think it is a very, very nice gift because it's one of those gifts that keep on giving. You can, I mean, look at this one. It's, and she points out an address and she says, it's not too far away from where we live. And it's an indoor garden. You can even go there in winter or when it's raining, you know.
We will definitely check them out. And we will send a thank you to the Martin family.
I talked to the Sterlings, they've got the address, and I've got the address too now.
That is perfect. Then we can send them our thank yous for the lovely places we could see. Mm-hmm. And can see if they need help with anything in the future. We are there as well.
I'm pretty sure that they will like this.
I hope so. After all this, at least it would be a nice result.
The Sterlings are actually paying for the hotel.
Bless them.
Yes, I thought so too. I'm pretty sure that if they had talked to Mr. Murphy or Mr. Crickleshank, they would have put them up for free, but they didn't feel like it. But the Sterlings asked me to, see to it that they don't have to pay. So I gave them a little letter for Mr. Crickleshank saying that they would be paying the bill.
That is really lovely for them.
Yeah, for them it must have been so trying. I mean, finding the dead body and then the blood and everything. It still hasn't been cleaned up. Nobody has been down there. That, and she points to the window, was done by Mr. Sterling. He said it wasn't possible for two ladies to sleep in here without feeling completely safe.
Mrs. Sterling definitely got a very good husband by her side.
Yes, she did. And the two of them are so happy together. They're just basically now going for a walk. They left just before you, and they've got a picnic basket.
I just hope that nothing happens to them, because so far they got along quite well after all of this. I still think they went after the Martins because she found the body, which again circles to it's all linked to the farmstead and everything around. But
you
it
see,
seems
the point
that someone is against Morton and against his stuff, because he would not destroy his chalet and smear blood all over the place.
And then we have all of these things that point towards Murphy, which is highly suspicious because the splinters in the dead body, then somebody signing MY. If I was Murphy and I was trying to get rid of somebody, I wouldn't sign my name.
No.
So I'm wondering, and you said, we found their truck at Morton's. What if Morton is actually doing this to get rid of Murphy?
I think it's easy for him if he needs a scapegoat. Murphy is the one he would point things at.
Especially if you say that he's so religious, because obviously he is a Protestant, because he is directly descended from this Simmon person.
Yep.
And that was a weird one.
Well, it seems to run in the family.
She scoffs. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Does he actually have a wife?
I don't think so.
No surprise there, right?
No, I don't think anyone in their right mind would stay. Well, there are other crazy people out there. We will see. And I think Alice would just enjoy the food in peace and quiet, just chit-chatting along. Mm-hmm. She would wait to look at the book and the island after dessert, basically. Afterwards, just sitting down in peace and quiet, maybe with a nice coffee. Although it sounds weird, but she's really craving a nice coffee.
There is coffee, and then there's crème brûlée.
Oh, that's perfect. And over that, Alice would put the book in the middle of both of them, and she would just go through the book and see if she can find the island on the map, and if she can find anything on the island.
You do find the island on the map.
Okay.
It's maybe 10 miles. That's 16k. That's not too far away.
No, that's
well, is it? Would it be visible though? 16k across calm water? Probably yes, right?
Yeah, if the weather's good.
Yeah. Let's make it 8. So it's depending on where you are, and if you're basically far out on the pier, because the pier kind of juts out, so it's further towards there. So it would be about 10k maybe from there. And it is not that big. It's maybe 2 square kilometers. And you actually find it in the guidebook, and it says that it's now privately owned. And that it used to be owned by the state, and it was leased to fishermen, for example, who would actually have a little pier there, and also some buildings, but like, you know, some stone structures, nothing fancy, but it's uninhabited. He points out that there is a beach that is frequented by seals.
That sounds lovely. But if there are buildings there, that might be a place where you can put someone out of sight, especially if it's private now. No one will go there.
Mm-hmm. I'm just really worried about Matthew, because keeping him, I mean, you can't keep a person indefinitely, and once he's let go, he will talk if he's been kidnapped. So what if they just didn't even think about it and just killed him outright?
That is my worry, that we can't find him because he's not there anymore, although everything in me is not willing to give it up.
And what about that child? Why would they want the child?
The only thing, she knows something she should not know. Either it's linked to what happened to family, or maybe selling the farmstead was not legal, or she saw something else that she shouldn't have.
I just hope that this doesn't end in a double murder. Well, a triple murder, because that sailor is already dead, and he didn't die of natural causes.
No, he definitely did not. But, well, it's not the time now to look for a boat and get out there at nighttime. That's highly dangerous. So,
especially since we don't know what we will find, and we don't know if we could actually get back, because I don't know if anybody who will take us there will wait.
Exactly. So I think we should have an early night, and we need to get up with sunrise, because the fishermen and the other people are out early in the morning. We should be at the harbor with the moment the sun rises. We should leave and have a walk to the harbor and see if we can find a boat that is willing to take us out there.
What should we take? I mean, we should go prepared, because we don't know what we'll find.
Well, we should definitely have rather practical clothes than pretty.
She looks down and says, yes, I agree.
It would be sad if a dress like this would come to get some stains on there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely have my pistol with me just in case, and, well, in my purse I always have some lockpicks, so we can also get in if we want to. I will also take my camera, just for the sake to play the part that we are tourists and we want to take some pretty
good
pictures.
Thinking.
And then obviously we need some money to pay the people. And, well, some water. Maybe a little snack. Really little snack, just in case. I have no idea if Matthew's there, and if he's there, how he's feeling.
That's a very good point. I will prepare food. I will prepare water, because he should, if we find him, he should drink water. You know, this is one of the things. Breakfast is the most important thing, and drink plenty of water for everything. That's the basic thing. And she says, and look what I got. and she points towards the towards the umbrella stand, and you see that there is she's got a cane. She says, "This time round, if somebody says something, I will just, or points a gun at you, I will just whack them with a stick."
That sounds like a good plan.
And you can tell that she's actually quite pleased with you, and she tells you she bought this in one of the tourist shops. And you saw them in the shop where you bought the compass and the hiking gear, so they did have and it's made of wood. It's not actually a light one. You when you pick it up, you realize that there's quite a lot of weight behind it. So if she actually took this at the end and whacked somebody with it with the handle, that's gonna leave a mark. If she hits, that's gonna hurt. So
it will definitely be helpful to have something like that, just in case. I hope we don't need to, but we will see.
Yeah.
And then we just throw everything in a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really hope he is on the island.
Yeah, I hope so too.
The only thing else that we will have to do that when we are back. If we find him, we need to make sure we leave quickly.
Then it's important that the boat doesn't leave.
Definitely, they need to stay with us. So extra payment usually helps, especially if someone that's fishing, they'll be happy for some money and not to fish. And let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe the harbor master knows a good man who's willing to help.
Let's just hope that he's not in this cult.
Well, he was a really nice man, but
so was Mr. Morton. I mean, I guess the only one who is in the cult and is completely open about it would be your friend, Sergeant Bruce Flanagan.
I'm not sure he's in the cult.
Yeah, he thinks you're guilty, though.
Yeah, he is. Dude, he thinks that, but I highly doubt that he's part of that.
Yeah, you never know. What about the librarian? I mean, that would be a kicker.
That would be really sad. He was such a nice... We need to find not nice people. Maybe they are the right... I am lost on... Honestly, I have the feeling I want to meet Mr. Murphy. I think he's the only one that is not in this cult, probably.
If it's a Protestant cult, they would probably not even have him.
No, I'm quite sure. Another reason why I'm really tempted to move to the hotel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they would have some rooms if we asked.
We can decide that tomorrow after we come back. We can still tell Mr. Morton that with the broken window and the Martin's gone, it's just getting too freaky and we decided to move to the hotel.
And still keeping up appearances. That's a very
Yes.
good plan. Yeah, because there is no way you can expect two ladies to be living out here on their own with a broken window and with somebody having ransacked the chalet next door.
Also, the hotel is much easier to get everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely see that we move tomorrow. We can get this organized.
Yeah. So how about this? I will prepare some food now so I don't have to rush in the morning. And for good measure, I'm just going to grab all of the things that I have unpacked. I'm just going to pack because then we can just take the stuff tomorrow as well. Because now we've got a car.
Yeah, and let's start packing. I think that's the best thing to do this evening. And be prepared for tomorrow that we can move either to the hotel or out of town, depending on what we find.
Yeah. I think that's a good plan. And we've got a map, and we've got the book. Yeah. And the compass, just in case.
Yeah, definitely. We will take that one as well.
Okay.
And then the rest of the evening will be packing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You are a traveler, so you are very good at packing. And it's you finish it actually quite. And you see, remember how you basically got dirt on that when you leaned out the window of the train and you couldn't stop yourself. She's cleaned it in the meantime, and it looks absolutely like there was never anything on it. And she's put it back into your bedroom, so it's hanging there as well. So everything is where it should be. She also packs, and yeah. And then she comes down again, or she goes down, depending on if you're still upstairs, and she prepares food. You can hear that. You can hear rummaging in the kitchen. Then you can hear her talking about, yeah, but if we're leaving tomorrow, all of this nice food will go to waste. That won't do. So she starts packing all of the stuff that she brought, all of the food, all of the piccalilli, the condiments, and you can tell that she's already kind of like going, oh my God, yeah, but we can't even cook because we're in the hotel. We can't cook. They won't like it if we cook. So she's really
I will go down and just grab maybe a glass of water and just... If you have stuff we can't take with us to the hotel, dear, maybe the Sterlings will like them.
That's a stellar idea. And
maybe
she basically...
package for them. Just...
Yeah, she makes a nice package for them, and she says, I will see if they're in, because it's now dark outside. I don't know if they're still having a picnic, although, in the moonlight, who knows. And I'll take it over, and I will just hand it to them.
Perfect.
Okay. And she leaves, she takes the package with her, and she comes back like 5 minutes later, says, yeah, they were in and they were really happy about it. They're sad to see us go, but they also said that they completely understood. And yeah, they wished us the best of luck.
Good. Then, since we're not planning to leave anymore, Alice will make a round and make sure everything is locked.
Yes.
That can be locked.
Yeah. Everything is locked that can be locked. And... yeah, and then basically Dottie goes upstairs and she goes to bed and says goodnight, and yeah.
I will follow. I will just say goodnight as well. I will go my room. I will have the pistol under my pillow and my cane next to me. And just hope that we get a restful night.
Yeah.
Because it definitely feels like we've been weeks here, not...
yeah, not just 2 nights.
And a bit of rest would be good for Dottie as well as Alice.
So you go to bed, and you go to sleep, and nothing happens. However, at stupid o'clock, you hear a knock.
Yes.
Rise and shine. It's not even daybreak. We're supposed to leave early. Breakfast ready.
Thank you. I will be there in a minute, maybe 5. Alice
if you don't come down straight away, I'll drink all the coffee myself.
Alice will crawl out of bed, just get some water in her face, probably even already switching into some adventurer clothing, more or less, so like linen pants and something that is quite comfy but also a bit of durable. And then she will go down to join Dottie for a little breakfast.
Dottie is wearing her very, very super sensible clothes, which is a very... It's of course a skirt. She will not be seen dead in pants, but it's a tweed one, so this is actually super durable. And of course stockings and walking shoes and and something very so she looks like she's ready for adventure too. There is of course coffee. There is food on the table. She has coffee as well, and she has a super huge breakfast herself. But for you, you have an option. You can either go with what she has, which is full Irish, or you can have toast and jam or marmalade. There's a choice.
Toast is definitely the way to go.
That's what she thought. And she says, Okay, so I guess we're ready to go.
We are. So Alice will double check the backpack if everything is in there with the map, the book, the compass. Well, water and food is definitely in there. She's quite sure. She will put the pistol in her pocket. She will have a small handbag just around where the pistol fits in. She will definitely grab her cane, the one with the stabby end inside. And then the ladies will leave, lock the house, and will drive to the harbor.
You drive to the harbour, and it is super early, but as you predicted, the harbour is actually quite busy.
Yeah.
You arrive at the, you find a parking spot, you park, you go to where the harbour master has his office, you know that, and he is there, and he is talking to somebody else. Well, Jim, what do you want me to say? If somebody took your nets, then it's your problem, not mine. What do you expect me to do? Patrol every single boat? Or maybe you threw them out last night and you never took them back in because you were drunk again. Have you thought of that? And Jim actually does look like somebody who likes a drink or two or three. And basically grumbles, and then he said, you know what, if you don't find them, you will have to buy new ones or you have to borrow some. It's not my problem. I'm the harbor master. I'm not a fisherman that makes nets, okay? And then Jim basically leaves, and he looks up and he says, I remember you were the lady who found the dead body.
Well, I was the one after the ones that found them. But
oh,
yes,
my mistake. I
apologize.
apologize.
I was part of that. I definitely am. She will pat her camera that she has basically on a stand in her over her shoulder a little bit. We are looking for a chance. Maybe you would know someone who would be willing for some cash to drive out on the sea. Not too far, but we would really love to see a bit of the coast and take pictures here and there. So like a day trip, just setting us out where we want to go for a few minutes that we can take pictures and then go on. And maybe someone who also knows the area around here. Would you maybe
well, aren't you in luck? I would say that little Jim, who just left, has nothing to do today because he lost his fishing nets. Will you believe it? I know that this sounds awful, but he's actually a very reliable person. I actually believe somebody took them, you know, the youths, and he does have a reputation, you know. So, and he knows the area like the back of his hand. He's been fishing here since before forever. And he has a nice boat that would definitely take you everywhere. So if you were to rent him for the day, he would be with his boat for you, available for the whole day.
Perfect. And then he would have money to buy his nets again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are just hidden somewhere. He probably got on the wrong side of some of the youths, you know how it is. The little ones, they don't know how to behave. And he smacked one or two of them around the head one time. And maybe they're taking their revenge. You know what? Just stay here. I'll go and find him and I'll bring him back.
Thank you so much.
He walks out, and true to his word, like 10 minutes later, he comes back with Jim. And Jim, you notice, it does not smell of alcohol. He does look like people who drink a lot, but he seems to be completely sober. And he says, well, I've explained to Jim what the situation is. And Jim is more than happy to rent out his boat and himself to you for the day. Now, Jim, you know that it's $3. No more. That's what we charge tourists. $3. If I find out from the lady that you're charging her more once you've walked out of here, I'll have your hide. And Jim nods.
Thank you so much. And Alice will just stick out her hand towards Jim. Take her.
Jim takes the hand, and it's a huge hand. It's a hand that is used to handling nets, so it's very calloused. But he takes your hand, and you realize that he realizes, okay, this is not a fisherman. I cannot squeeze that hand. So he basically gives it this really weird shake. Yes. And he says, Well then, I'm Jim.
And this is Miss Williams, my assistant.
Hello, Miss Williams. And he doesn't even try to shake her hand because she looks a lot less robust than you. And he basically just waves at her, kind of like really, he's out of his depth. He doesn't often deal with tourists or people from the city, especially if they're female and only female. But he says, well, it's the Kitty. That's my ship's name. She's ready outside. So
Then I would say, let's go.
we're in for a
are
very
ready.
nice day. It's not going to be cloudy at all. It's going to be very sunny. So, yeah, you might have you got a sun hat because it's going to get very sunny outside on the ocean.
Yes, we have
Good,
hats,
because we don't,
worry.
you otherwise might end up with a really red face.
Or even worse, with some headaches and feeling vomit, nauseous, because too much sun. I had this experience, it's not fun, so... But I'm looking forward to some nice ocean breeze and just enjoying and finding a few nice spots where I can take some pictures.
Oh, that won't be a problem. So are you looking for landscapes or are you looking for animals?
Both.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I suppose, how about we talk about it on the ship? But I've got
Yeah.
a couple of ideas.
Let's-
There are
let's
some
go.
very nice places for bird watching. We also have seals in the area.
Seals would be really lovely, and on the way walking towards the ship, she would be like, I heard there's an island not that far away that has really nice places where seals are just enjoying the sun.
Yes, that is true. That is correct. It's in private. It's owned privately now. But yes, that is true. We could probably go near enough the coast or the beach rather of that island so that you can see They would be basking today.
That sounds good. Then let's maybe start there first.
Oh, sure. And the Kitty is actually. It's called Kitty, and it says Kitty on the side, but somebody drew a cat on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is, he's obviously funny. And it's a fishing boat, but it's got, you can go down inside, and it's also got one of those, I don't even know what they're called in German. It's those things on it, basically where you stand and you have your wheel and you look out, and that's, there's glass, and then it's completely covered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an open boat, as it were, only, and it's actually not made of wood. It's made of metal. It's and you can see that these are really seagoing vessels. So they're not meant to go just on the coast. So they would probably go further out as well.
That is a really beautiful boat you have.
Well, thank you. I mean, I used to go out fishing overnight when my boys were still here, but they've got no interest in fishing. They've left. They've moved to New York. So.
Well, that's sad that they are not following in the family footsteps.
Well, I was sad in the beginning, and my father was even sadder. But then when he passed away, everything kind of like, I thought, okay, I got stuck with this, and I had no choice. The boys do have a choice, and if this is their choice, then so be it. So I don't go out overnight anymore. I just do day trips, like go out in the morning and then come back at noon to sell. And the wife is actually quite happy about that. Because she was always afraid, all of her 3 men outside, who knows what's going to befall them. So
this is definitely the safer route, and the city gives a lot of options to people, so I hope your boys make well in the city.
well, they seem to be doing quite well.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, and you can tell that he's kind of proud as well.
So you've been around here. You're from here, aren't
Oh,
you?
yes, I
Sounds
was
like
born
it
here.
is. I met quite a few different people here that have been around here quite a long time. I'm curious about Mr. Murphy and his hotel. It has been here for ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was built, I want to say, 12, 13 years ago. It's been here it's been here a lot longer than the chalets.
Yeah, they are quite new.
Yes.
Mr. Morton seems to have plans to make it more touristy in the nice, cute little Simmon Strand.
Well, I don't mind the tourists, but you know, he's descended from the Simmons that founded this.
Yeah, the founder was a bit extreme, wasn't it? If I read it right.
Extreme? I don't know if you know this, and I don't certainly want to badmouth the dead, but he burnt witches.
Oh boy.
So forget about Salem. We had our very own witch trials here, which nobody's discussing these days. You know, it's all hush hush because of the tourists. But I tell you, this is part of our history, and this is part of where we come from. I have, and my family have lived here for generations, but I'm happy to say that we never took part in any of this. We didn't go to Sunday school. We didn't go to that church.
That sounds like a good idea. I never visited the church. Is it still there?
Well, the church is still... we've got two churches. We've got the church that I go to. It's Lutheran.
Yeah.
And then there's the other church. That's the one that Simmon founded himself. It's where his house is. Simmon Hall, or as we call it now, Morton Hall. Behind it is a church as well, where some people go.
Oh.
You know, the problem is, Murphy came in and he spent a lot of money. And do I care that he's a papist? I don't care that he's Irish. And you can tell that... You can hear Dottie suck in the air. He brought money and he's been a decent guy. He's been giving work to people, and I don't care which church he goes to on a Sunday, or if he doesn't go to church at all. That's all the same to me. And if everyone was like me, we would have a lot less problems and a lot less trouble for sure.
Although, at least as a guest, I don't see troubles in the town. Everyone just seems really nice and friendly.
Well, everybody is really nice and friendly, and then people get killed.
Yeah, fellow guests found a sailor dead on the shore.
Yeah, and then those vagrants that murdered almost the whole family, the Rowland family, nobody ever looked at that. That was 5 years ago. We still don't know who did it.
Yeah. The farmstead outside, right?
Yeah.
It's quite something, because it's such a lovely place here.
Oh, I like it, and I'm pretty sure that the tourists like it too. The hotel is always full, and if you want to know what I think, Morton is just jealous of Murphy. That's what I think, because he came here first, he built the hotel first, he brought the tourists first, and I'm telling you, if his wife hadn't died, he would probably have proceeded with the spa he was planning. But since then, he has kind of really lived in seclusion. I'm not saying that I'm surprised. But I think it was a shock. They came here for, she had tuberculosis and she died. But anyway, I always liked him, and they've got a really good bar there.
The food
and it's
is
not
great.
Too expensive.
The food is
That
great.
is true, and they also accept outside visitors for the food. It's not just for the patrons of the hotel. So
Yeah.
I sometimes go there with her inside, and
And the staff is really nice at the hotel, I have to say. We had a really nice support there.
but do you know what? I've learned? The staff is usually a reflection on management. If management is good, the staff are usually good too.
That is quite true, I have to say. That is quite true. I guess by now we are getting closer to
Well,
the
he's
island.
already kind of like cast off.
Yeah. Sir, I know it's a weird... and regulations and things. The islands... She would just scan the island. Nothing... Does she see like some old buildings and a pier and that's it on the island? Or is
Do
there
make
anything
a spot hidden.
new? happening there. That is definitely a success. I just need to see what kind of success. Spot hidden. That is a hard success.
Super. Don't forget to tick it if you haven't already.
I sadly already have.
Okay. I just realized that she had that I'd forgotten to check her listen, which you passed earlier. You can see the building and you can see the pier because the pier juts out and the building is right there. And lo and behold, there's a boat tied at the pier.
Then it looks like someone is on the island.
He peers over your shoulder, squints a little bit, and says, "That's strange. Why would anybody come here? I mean, I know that it's now privately owned. Do you think that these are some bird spotters?"
I am not sure, although honestly I was willing to pay you some extra that we could have a short stop on the island, and in case we get into any trouble it would be my problem to solve and pay for, because it's much easier to take pictures from land than from ship.
Make a persuade roll.
Come on! Ooh! That looks good. Where's persuade?
Third column from the
I will
left.
spend 2 luck and make a hard success out of that.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. And a tick. And he's like, well, you do know it's a private property. How would you like it if I just walked into your garden?
Well, it doesn't really look like someone is living there. I would definitely not walk into a garden where someone is living, but this is not a house someone's living in.
All right, I will tell you what. I will not land at the pier because everyone can see us. If somebody's got their looking glass out, their
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I don't even know the German word at this stage. Binoculars.
Binoculars. The German word I would have at hand, but yeah.
Ja, Fernglas, klar.
Fernglas, but
binoculars out. Even from the harbour master's office, they would probably be able to see us in this weather. So what we're going to do is, what I can offer you is we circle round and I find a place to anchor. But you would have to row yourself over.
That is totally fine.
Because I can't leave the boat.
I understand that. You can't leave this beauty, and she will just pat the ship.
He appreciates this. he smiles. He smiles. I mean, he is in love with that boat, obviously. Probably not as much as he's in love with her inside, but close.
Also, Alice would look into her handbag and would pull out $5 and would hand it over to him.
And he puts up his hand and he says, "You'll pay me when you're back."
That is a good deal. We will do that. And this will stay under us, obviously. To the harbour master, you will have officially, I will pay you $3, and we are fine with that.
And don't forget to take at least one picture of the seals. Because they are quite funny when they walk around. Well,
they are adorable. So yeah. I will definitely take, not one, probably even a few more pictures.
And true to his word, he's actually not stupid. He passes the island, not even going towards it, but passes it straight from where you are and takes a long pass around it or to the north before he actually veers to the east and then goes south again. So it really looks for everyone like you went north along the coast and then just you can't be seen anymore, because as soon as you are behind the island, or you can't be seen anymore because the island is behind you and between you and anyone who would be watching from the shore. And he's then looking for a place where he can throw anchor, and he does, and it's possibly 600-700 meters to the shore.
That's fine.
So rowing is going to be a little bit of a, because now you are actually outside. There is no more shelter. So there is waves coming in and there is a current, but you feel that you can do it. And so you, it's a it's a wooden boat with rows, rowboat, and with oars, with rows. It's a wooden boat with oars, one for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you load everything into the boat, and it's one of the ones that is actually hanging off a gantry. So you get in, and then he lowers you down. And then he unfastens it, and you're free in the water, and you start rowing.
I'll just wave quickly. See you soon. Thank you. And
good luck.
Then start to work and try to get towards the island.
Okay, and there I think we do have to do at least some checks. I would say you can, that would be strength or constitution. I would say whichever is better for you. For her, it's definitely constitution.
Well, constitution is a tad better.
Yeah, no, she didn't pass that one.
I didn't pass either.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so essentially you're not making much progress. We'll make a protracted roll, so we roll 3 times to see if you get to the... You need 3 successes to get there. Oh, that's 80. She's not doing well.
That's a 29, which is a hard success.
Excellent. And now she's got a 43, which is also a success. So we have...
I failed.
2.
So we have 2 successes.
96. Oh my god, that's almost a fail.
So I have 2 fails and 1 success. You have also 2 fails, 1 success. So we
now 21. That is a success. That's actually a hard success.
Yeah, I have a hard success as well. So.
Okay, so it actually takes you a little longer than you thought. It takes you the better part of 45 minutes to get there because you do drift off.
Jim was probably chuckling, the 2 ladies
Possibly.
on the boat, watching what they are doing.
So let's see what happens. Okay. So you manage to beach. You're not doing it very elegantly. It's terrible. You will not be telling anyone about this because that was a nightmare. But you manage to beach the boat. And there are actually seals there. And some of them raise their heads and they look at you through their black eyes and soulful black eyes. And they do have little ones. I don't know what they're called. Probably not cubs, but whelps or whatever they're called. And they're just adorable.
That is definitely... She will, or we'll make sure that the boat is really on the beach, that it's not drifting off. And then Alice will walk a bit inside, still looking at the seal, because she definitely wants to take a picture or 2 of the seals, at least for show. Mm-hmm. So she will set up camera and she will start taking a picture, because during that time, if I remember right, it takes time.
It does, yeah.
And it's hard to have like a moving target, so she will try to photograph a sleeping seal that is just lying there, not moving. Yeah,
there is one. It's kind of like, how they have their flippers up in a really weird position, and it's warm already. It's quite warm already, and since it's very light, it won't take as long, because the exposure time, the brighter is of course less problematic than the speed of the film. And you could take a couple of pictures, and Dottie is really taken by the little ones because they are cute. They are cute. And then she looks around and she says, so what's the plan?
The plan is, after we've finished this picture, I will grab the camera and we will take a walk. And if we meet someone, we are just stupid enough to be on a private island because we want to take pictures of nature and animals. Usually it helps that we are 2 ladies looking innocent. Although
yes.
I want to try to stay out of sight if possible, so I want to get closer to the building, because if someone is hidden here or prisoned here, it's probably in there.
Yeah, because there is not much on the island, because you can see that it's kind of hilly, but there is, I always think, I picture this island in my mind as, the islands in the Baltic Sea where you have hardly any trees, you know, the small ones, but it's this really weird grass that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you know
maybe
exactly.
some shrubs here and there, but that's it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you see here. So the problem is you are taller than those shrubs. So if you want to hide behind them, you actually have to crawl. Yeah, but just so that you kind of get an idea of what this looks like. There is no road or path. It's really empty. You know, there is nothing there. It's complete nature around you. You can see seagulls, of course, and you can hear them overhead. So there is birds. But other than that, there is no life on the island that you can see.
Then, after finishing the picture, she will put the camera back together again, throw it over her shoulder, and she will slowly walk towards the building.
Okay, so
keeping eyes and ears open.
Okay.
If she can hear or see anyone. And asking Dottie to do the same.
So let's make a spot hidden, first of all, which she does pass, and a listen roll.
Spot hidden, Wait. Oh god, I don't have that much luck left, but hey. Spot hidden success. And, listen is a good one. Listen is a hard success.
Okay, cool. So you have one hard success. In listen, 2 successes in spot hidden, and she doesn't hear anything. She just hears the seagulls. Okay, so you don't see anything and you don't hear anything as you approach. But after about, I want to say, because you can't really go wrong. You just check with your compass. You know where you need to go. It's almost due west because that's where the pier is. So the island is like a cone, so it gets taller and then it goes down again, so it looks a bit like this, not as steep maybe, but that's pretty much its shape. So once you have crested it, you can see further and you can see the house from where you are, and it's really a stone structure with a thatched roof. So very traditional. And it's got like one window, and the door can't be seen because it's probably on the other side, but it's got one window towards you, and the window doesn't have any anything in front of it, so there are no blinds or anything. So it's probably, if somebody was in there, they would probably be able to see you if you approach.
Do I see something like a back door? She would probably...
Not from where you are.
Try to...
Okay, so you are actually coming right towards the back of it, so you can't see the two sides. You would sides. You would have to veer to one side.
She would turn left a bit to see if there is a door, also to make sure to come from a side where there's no window, possibly, or at least windows that are closed.
Then make a luck roll, please.
Oh god. You know my luck is the worst stat I have in there. I rolled a 5.
Okay, you are in luck. On this side, there is actually no window. And there is no door either, so it's actually completely blind. If you go there, nobody can see you.
That's the idea. Then we will move there and we'll stick to the house wall and would move around to the back, but then carefully...
You are at the back. You are coming from the back.
Okay, but she would move towards the place where she's seen the window.
Okay.
But she would stay down.
Okay, so what happens, or what you see is the window is, if this is the back of the house, you are facing it, and where my ring is, that's where the window is. You are facing the window, so if you were to go down now and basically crawl towards it, you would be facing this window. You can also go to this side where my other hand is, and there is no window nor any door.
So they would walk towards the wall where there's nothing.
And then double back, and then...
Double back along the wall, basically, to then peek around the corner into the
Sorry,
window.
that was my mistake. It was obviously what you were going to do, but I just didn't get it.
I didn't describe it well, so that would be the way. So safe way to the house, and then along the house wall, just carefully, and she wants to have a careful peek inside the window.
Okay, so you reach the wall. Now the question is, what do you do with the camera? Because that is kind of cumbersome. When you try to sneak basically around the corner and you're holding this over your shoulder, that's kind of...
She will hand it to Dottie, and she will tell Dottie, stay here. If someone comes around and sees you, just loudly talk and just tell you that you're looking for basically me, and that we were taking some pictures of seagulls and seals.
All right, I will do that.
I'll be back in a second. I just want to peek into the window and see what is in there.
Okay, so she holds on to this. She's not cool with this because she's a terrible liar.
She could still at least walk with me towards the corner, that she's still on the side where there's nothing.
Let's see if she actually is brave. So let's see if she is fine with that. I mean, she does have high power. Yeah, that's a success. So she has herself under control.
Good.
But you do know that it's one of the things that she's very uncomfortable with, because she does get frightened. Yeah.
Also, dear, if someone tries to grab you, you can also swing the camera. Don't be afraid to destroy it, to save yourself, right?
Okay, she nods, and you can see that in her mind's eye she's smacking someone with a camera and kind of like going, no, that's not good. But you basically are there. You sneak around. Let's see, is there something like sneak, or is that a skill? Stealth. Try stealth for me, please.
Stealth. Oh. Deciding on which set. That is a good way. Stealth 20. I will spend another 2 luck because I'm always just above the hard success. So hard success on stealth.
Okay. Then let's see what everybody else does. Oh.
Oh is not good.
I rolled an 8.
At least I'm still outside.
Yes, you are still outside. Let's see. Okay, this guy has no stats for listening or anything. Okay, with 8, they must have heard something.
Yeah, with 8 is so low.
Oh, this one. Okay, so we're going to take this one. Yeah, he's got 40%, so that's even a hard success in that case. So
yeah, and listen, okay, the average is 20, so definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, so you sneak around, and you come to the window.
Yes.
And do you peek in? Do you kind of like do this?
Yes, exactly. Okay. That would be all from the side, but basically the same from the side. She would try to peek in and try to see what is happening inside.
Okay. As you peek in, a hand juts forward and grabs you by the scruff of your neck.
Do I have the chance to try to bite?
Oh, of course, that would be unarmed combat. Do that. That's going to be fun.
That would be her chance to try, first of all, to bite. And in parallel, she would fuddle around with her stick. But it's hard to get the stick into the window. So biting would be her first try to go. So, unarmed combat. Big no. That was a 92.
Okay, so now what he's going to do is he's going to do a strength roll to see if he can hold on to you. Yeah, that's a 16. Can you try your strength, please, and tell me if you can beat 16?
Let's see.
That's a hard success.
Well, I rolled a 36, but still, no.
Okay. Okay, so you hear people shouting inside, and let's see if Dottie hears anything. Oh, she has a 1. She has critted.
She hears everything.
Okay, now make a luck roll, please.
Oh, God. I will definitely not have a... I rolled a 12, which is below the 15 that I have in luck.
Okay, so between her absolute mega critical success, she rolled a 1. Oh, which means she gets to roll a d10 immediately, and she gets to increase her listen by 4. Brilliant. She not only heard what was going on, but because you were lucky, she made a really good judgment call. She comes running with her club. So she's holding on to this as if it was a club, and she gets... What is your luck? 15?
Yep.
So she gets those 15 on top of her normal unarmed because, you know, she is... And with a 43, that is not enough. And let me see, that's 30. Ah, God, it's 3 points. She doesn't hit, but she doesn't hit you either. So
that's good.
That's good. But the problem is now there is 2 of you, and that's what this guy didn't expect. And you can hear him shout, There's more! We're under attack!
Could Alice just squeal in a very
High-pitched
womanly,
voice?
panicked, high-pitched voice, like, "Excuse me, sir!"
Of course you can. That's not a question at all. You can do whatever you like. Yes, please squeal.
She will squeal, and she will probably just try to keep her hands around the window frame and try to push herself away. She would still try to see something, the main thing. She would like to see whoever has hold of her, if she knows the face, and she will still try to see. Though the squealing is more like a charade, like, "Hey, I'm a weak woman and I'm just here by mistake."
Okay. Well, yes, the squealing, you squeal. And now make an idea roll, please, if you remember who this person is, or if you've seen this person before.
Let's see. Why am I rolling horribly? But yes, it's a success.
It's one of the draftsmen who work for Mr. Morton.
How surprising. But the problem is, then he also knows me, which is bad, because I was really nice to them.
Let's see if he remembers you. With a 70, not really. He is probably a bit too shocked, and you're also screaming, which doesn't make things easier for him. You can now hear footsteps. Somebody's running around, and there is Dottie, and she is now furious. And with a 49, she hits out at the person coming around the corner, but she misses because they are a little bit too fast, and she's not used to doing this, so it's like it's not her forte. But she is, she's had it. She's not happy with the way her holidays are going. She's now turned into a berserker. And basically...
The guys are now, it's their
you can act though. Do you want to do something about this guy holding you?
Alice would try to grab or get the pistol out of her handbag.
Okay, there you need to make a dexterity check if you get this done. Because it's over your shoulder, he's holding onto...
It's a 19 hard success.
Okay, you manage to do this, you get the gun. You hear this guy shouting, "Oh, she's got a gun now! She's got a gun!" The guy who is now standing in front of Dottie hits her with a 68. I don't think that this is actually a hit. Oh, almost a hit. Almost a hit. So she hits back because she's had it.
Come on, dear.
69. So they're basically, it's almost like a standoff. He's trying to hit her. She steps to the side. She tries to hit him. Okay, what do? You've got your gun.
Do I have the chance to put the gun just at the head of the guy that's holding
Not the head, because he's kind of, I mean, you are still, have you stood up?
Yes.
Because that would be, okay. So, yeah, you can. Yeah, he's probably got, he's going to make a dexterity check to see if he can basically grab your hand. That was cocked. With an 81, he doesn't. He can't do anything. So yes, you can point the gun to his head.
She would just point the gun at his hand. Just, sir, that is really rude. Could you please let go of me? In a very calm voice.
Okay.
She's trying to intimidate. If there's a roll like that, I have no idea if there is. Intimidate is a roll.
There is, yes. And you probably withstand with how do you basically see? Okay, roll intimidation.
Let's see. That is...
Oh, you actually get a bonus die because you're holding a gun to his head. That is super intimidating.
I will take that because I was just counting if I want to get rid. Oh, that is much better. That is... I still... My luck is running out, but I have a success.
He has a malus die, whatever they're called. Oh yeah, he fails. He fails, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, lady!" And he actually holds up both hands and takes a step back and says, "What are you doing here? This is private property. Why are you sneaking up on us?"
We were taking pictures of seals and seagulls, and we just ran past a building. We didn't even know there was a building here, and honestly, sorry, we were just curious and wanted to look inside to see what is inside.
Try a persuade roll, and you still have a bonus die on that one.
Which is not helping. That is not a success.
Okay, let's see how he takes all of this.
Persuade is good, but I rolled really shabby. And the bonus die was the same die as the other one.
He is not convinced. He did pass his roll, but he's like, well, you know what? This is private property. I want you to get off the property because that is private property. He's obviously not a wordsmith.
Could Alice would just like let him hang without saying anything, but she would try to look around in the building.
Do you still have the gun?
Yeah, still
okay.
have the gun.
Okay.
But making sure at least to have a bit of distance, a little bit at least.
Yeah.
But she would really like to see what is inside there.
Okay, then make a look roll. Make a spot hidden roll.
That is much better. That is a hard success.
Okay, so what you can see, because he is standing in the window, so he's taking away the view. It looks like the building is more or less empty. It's but you think that you can see a trap door, like there is a cellar or something down there. That door is open, but that's all you see. And it's not really well lit, so there is light coming in from this window, and then there's the door at the front, next to which is also a window. The door is closed, you can see that, but there's another window and there's light coming in. It's quite dark in there.
Alice Woods. The question is he still holding on to me, or did he let
go? No, he did. Whoa, lady, he did this.
She will step away from the window.
No problem, you can do that.
And will turn around and point the gun at the guy that is standing in front of Dottie.
he is not really, he has also taken a step back, and they're kind of like in a staring contest now. She's holding on for dear life to her stick, to her walking stick, and he's kind of like almost like a boxer. So he's, you know, doing this. He's not standing still because he's afraid that she might hit him again, and then he could easily or more easily jump away if he keeps moving. So it's a strange situation for Dottie to be in. You've never seen anything like it.
Dottie dear, step back, please. And sir, would you mind going to the front door? We need a talk. And she would just wave with the gun.
Okay, he, as soon as Dottie steps back, he relaxes his stance and says, all right then. And kind of walks a little bit to the side before he turns so that he can see you. So he's not just turning the corner so that you're at his back, but he's basically stepping out and then turning so that he can kind of see you, half see you. And what do? Do you follow him, or do you?
She will follow with a tiny distance, so far enough away that he needs to at least have a bit of a jump run to get to her, but close enough that she can without problem hit him with the gun or yeah, basically shoot him.
Okay. And we know that you're a crack shot because you shot the other guy last time.
And she will motion Dottie to stay behind me, dear.
Okay.
And have a look back in case the other guy is stupid enough to follow us through the window.
Okay. He isn't.
Okay.
And Dottie is, she's not letting go of her stick. She's now holding it as if it was a baseball bat. And you come to the corner and you walk the length of the building where there is no windows, and then you come to the other corner and he basically corners the building and you follow him. And the other guy is standing in the doorway.
Okay. She will just motion the other guy. Step inside, sir. Please.
They exchange looks, but they both step inside.
She will stand in the doorway and carefully have, out of the blink of an eye, at least have a quick around if she can see anyone else.
Okay, make a spot hidden, and
not
Dottie
to be
will also
surprised by someone jumping out of the corner.
Dottie sees nothing.
I have.
Oh, she does. Yeah, she has
on
a success.
point a success.
You see nothing. She sees nothing.
So, I'm tempted to ask how technical architectural drawers are in here at an island in an empty house. Being a mechanic that you are under attack.
Well, we are here doing our job.
Your job is to be in the city and draw.
Well, we are drawing plans for a marina that is going to be built here, and we decided to take a look at the surroundings to see exactly the topography of the island. And you can see that he is trying to make excuses, so you don't even need to roll on anything. He is drawing this out of the furthest reaches of his brain. He's trying to come up with something. And also, this is private property, and we have every right to be here because the owner has asked us to come here, and you have no right. And what do you mean? You are here and you are pointing a gun. Of course we are under attack from you.
Well, because you grabbed me. If not, there wouldn't.
Well, who snuck up on us? I was inside the house, and you just basically turn up, crawling towards the window.
Well,
what do you think this is? The trenches in 1418?
Well, it kind of turns into this, because I am still curious and doubtful on why you are here. Main question, the pier is still a bit away from the building, right?
13 meters. And then, because this building is almost directly on the seafront, so it's really like it goes down a little bit, and then there's the pier. It's not a stone pier. It's wood.
Dottie dear, would you mind getting to the boat at the pier and grab a rope? Because it should have a rope, as every boat has.
She goes out. Let's see if she is lucky, and there is a rope. With a 28, there is a rope.
Good.
Because she's actually quite lucky. She's Irish. She's got the luck of the Irish. And she comes back with a rope.
Throw it over to the guys. And she will point at the one who grabbed her through the window. Bind the hands of your fellow mate, please.
Okay, he does so very reluctantly and not very quickly either. Make a listen roll.
That is a 9. That is a... My luck is... I hate this, but it's a critical success.
Okay, you can hear noises from downstairs.
I suspected so. Come on, a bit quicker.
You can see that he's eyeing the trapdoor. He's kind of like looking at it, not even furtively. It's like he's trying to, almost willing something to come up from there.
The question is the trapdoor open or is it closed?
It's open.
Okay. She will move that she is basically standing a bit behind the trapdoor, but still having sight of the guys.
I know what you mean, okay.
That she can still see if something is happening in front of her, not to turn right.
So when you look down, because that's what you do as you walk there, you see that there is a ladder, which is actually not one of those, but one of those. So it's more like a staircase, made of wood. At the moment, you don't see anything down there, but you can see that there's light down there, and you can hear footsteps. And the footsteps walk on not wood or a dirt floor, but they seem to be walking on either flagstones or maybe natural stone.
Okay. She will just wait until the guy is ready.
Okay, so he has bound his comrade's hands.
Then she would be, could you please step back, sir? To the corner. To the corner.
Okay, he steps into the corner.
Dottie dear, could you please double check if the knot is tight enough?
Okay. Let's see, is that mechanical repair? She's got a 15. That's a very good roll.
Probably not enough.
Well, she will spend 5 luck to get to mechanical repair 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she basically pulls at it, and she pulls it a little bit tight. It's like, ow, and she says,
and sir, could you please hold out your hands now, because you are the next Dottie with the end of the rope. Mm-hmm. Do the same to him. Do we just want to make sure that they are not going anywhere?
If you have a better suggestion than mechanical repair, that's the only thing that I can think of, because...
I'm not sure. Tying a knot is not something that is mechanical repair.
Well, she has electric repair for some reason.
Let me see. What do we have? Praise.
Well, she is a seamstress. That's her art and craft thing at 30.
So she knows how to tie a knot.
So we're going to use seamstress.
I think that would be...
With a 15, that's a hard success, because she has 13. Did she roll a 15 again this time round? So she really likes the whole thing with tying stuff up, or tying people up. Maybe that's her new thing. Arts and crafts 2, bondage. Okay, so she binds his hands as well, and she binds them really... I mean, he's like, well, this is going to cut off the flow of blood to my hands. And she's like, deal with it. She is not in a good mood.
No, she's not. But that is a good thing. Now, you two, could you please sit down?
Like on the floor, it's dirty.
Boo-hoo.
Okay, they sit down. But you notice that they speak a lot more loudly than they would need to because you are standing not too far away from them and it's an enclosed space.
I know.
And you hear the footsteps coming closer.
Mm-hmm. She will walk around towards the back of the trapdoor.
So basically where the flap is.
Exactly, and she would put the flap up that it's like a 90-degree angle, and she would just stand there waiting. As soon as she can see a head popping up, she would just, with all her weight, smack down the trapdoor on the head of whoever's coming out.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, right. You see a man coming. He's wearing. You can tell it's a man because he's got a mustache. You've never seen that man before, and he's wearing a weird robe.
Oh, goodness grace! Great, a robe I've seen before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Only this one is a little less fancy because the one you saw was kind of like fancy and stuff. This is kind of like the everyday robes of the not so important members of the cult, and he's basically. Because it is dark where you are, he doesn't realize that the flap is open. He just starts climbing the staircase.
She will try to time and really try to knock him out with the flap door.
Okay. Of the following three values, which is your highest one? Strength, constitution, or dexterity? Because in dexterity you took the hit because of your knees. So
constitution is the highest.
Okay, please roll on constitution and please make this a bonus die.
Okay. Nope, that's the wrong one. We need this one. Thank goodness for the... although I rolled an 18 and the bonus die is 0, so I rolled an 8, which is a critical success.
Oh, wow. Oh.
It would have been 18, which would have been a hard success.
Oh,
but
I get it,
with
yes.
the bonus, it's a critical.
Okay, so please roll 1d8 for me.
I'm not prepared for a d8.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not a problem. I have everything at hand. Sorry for the mic. D8. And that's a 7.
Oh my. Okay, now I get to roll a d6.
I had a good meal. There's a little bit of weight on the trap door.
Yeah, that's the stake. Oops. Because you did 8 damage to him.
Okay.
And then he took falling damage, which is 5. He had 12 hit points.
Oh no. Oh no, the idea was not to kill
you first
someone.
Hear a ouch! And then you hear a bum, bum, bum as he falls down every single stair.
Okay.
And then... and you hear nothing.
That is... okay. Is there anything... Is the room really completely empty, or would there be a way to tie the two guys to something?
To tie the two guys to something. Let's just see how lucky our Irish girl is. With an 82, there is nothing. It's really empty.
Dottie dear. Try to keep an eye on those two.
Watch me. She stands in front of them and she's holding on to that cane.
Also, Alice will close the front door because it's probably still
open. There is
open.
a thing.
She will close it, that no one can come from outside and surprise.
If you want to, you can also close the shutters to the windows, which can also be bolted. Then it would be relatively dark, but...
She will leave them open.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she will open the trapdoor. and will carefully go downstairs.
And here we take a short break. Dun dun dun.
Oh boy.
Well, let's see what happens next. Okay, so you are at the top of the trapdoor, you've opened the trapdoor, you walk down, you hold on because you don't want to fall, and at the bottom of the stairs you see a body lying there in a robe. You can tell it's him, he's got the moustache. It's the person who just climbed up, and he looks rather dead.
Alice will take a second. She just wanted to knock him out. It was not the idea to kill anyone. Even the guys upstairs, she would have not shot them dead. She would have probably just shot them in the leg or something like that. She will look down the tunnel, I guess. What is in front of her when she's looking forward?
That is actually quite an accurate description. You are in a room which you can tell has been hewn out of the stone. So obviously underneath the very thin layer of earth, this is a stone island, and somebody has dug in, and there is a tunnel that is leading towards away from the pier, because otherwise it would end up in the sea more likely than not. So it's a tunnel where you are.
Is there a light or is it dark?
Believe it or not, there are torches.
Okay.
This looks rather weird, almost medieval.
I didn't even ask, but cliche-wise, I suspected the robe. Does it have like a hood?
Yes.
She will try to get the rope off the dead man with a little bit of silently saying, "Sorry, but I need this. You don't need it anymore."
Okay, well, it is actually a little more difficult than one might think to get something off a dead body, because they are not moving, they're not helping, they're just limp.
At least...
But you can do it, and it is a robe. It's, well, how do I describe it? It's not one that you put on like this, but it's one that you put on like this, so it's...
Pull over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She will do so. She will put the hood up.
Mm-hmm.
And she will carefully move forward, the gun still in her hand and the cane still in her other hand.
Okay, so you move down carefully. You can now do a stealth roll, but you get a bonus die because you are hiding from in plain sight by wearing this robe, because nobody will be able to see your face. They might find the gun a bit weird, but that's it.
They would need to stand right in front.
Well, actually, it's actually got really wide sleeves, so you know the gun in your hands are actually hidden, because it's like what the monks do.
Only thing that would she then take her cane? I think she would do a few steps, then decide against it, would go back. She would go up this... No, she would lean the cane next to the guy. Mm-hmm. And then turn around and walk. Not the steadiest walk, but steady enough. If not, there's a wall she can lean against. And would walk down. Still trying to be as silent as possible. And see what she has. And that is barely a success, but a success.
It's a success nonetheless. Okay, so you stealth your way along the passage. You can smell the sea. And it seems to go on forever. Of course it doesn't, but you know, you don't know where you're going. It's kind of dark. It's a little bit weird. The lights are flickering, so it takes probably a lot less long than it makes you feel it takes, if that makes any sense, if that's even a sentence. So basically you go on, and after a while, you can hear, you believe, Oh, do you have navigate or something?
Yep, I have navigate.
Can you give me a roll, please?
Although the stat is not great,
But still.
it's there. No.
Okay.
That is a 91. No.
Okay. You have a feeling that you're probably no longer underneath the house, though.
Okay.
That you've basically walked away from it far enough. And there's a noise, and that's a weird noise. It's almost like somebody's chanting or something, but very, very quietly. What do you do?
I carefully move forward.
Okay. You can see in the distance that the walls end, and you can see that the tunnel is opening up into a kind of room, chamber, whatever, cave.
She will stay at the entrance of the cave, probably against the wall, trying at least not to stand out too much and try to peek in.
Okay, now you need to make a stability check, a sanity check, please.
Good. Sanity. That is a success. 28.
Okay, so you see something that is actually, I'll just describe it to you. You see the body of a girl, half suspended in mid-air. You can't tell how she is floating or how, if there are ropes, you can't see any. And underneath her, you see two figures kneeling, and they are facing you. They are clad in complete black. They're not wearing your robe. They look more like the men that you saw in your vision and then later in the street. And they are facing you. The problem is they don't have any faces. It's like you're looking into a deep abyss. They have raised their arms up like so, and you can see their claws for hands. And there is something coming from the girl that is almost like a blue mist. And
Sound the same I've seen from...
Yes.
Okay.
And it seems like they are... Yeah, there is no other way to describe it. They are sucking it in. Like somebody's breathing, and instead of exhaling and then you're seeing the dark mist or the grey mist in winter, it's actually they are sucking it in. And what do you do?
Shooting one of the guys.
Okay, please make a roll.
Let's see. Nope. 66 is far miss.
Okay, now the point is, of course, that made a noise.
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't react, but somebody else does. There is somebody in the shadows that you didn't see, and he runs towards you. It's Mr. Morton. In his robe, in his fancy robe. What do you do?
Point blank at him.
Okay, please give me a roll.
Not at his hand, more at leg.
Well, yeah. Well, you probably try and shoot him anywhere, because
shoot
obviously
him,
he is running,
but
so
he
it
will
is,
try not to go for head, but more for body.
I mean, that would be a 0-1, and we know how that works, because it's happened before.
It's a hard success.
Okay,
24?
yes, you hit him, because he's not, he can't really... You're shooting him. There is no way he can escape. So please make, do your thing. Roll damage.
Goodness gracious, that's...
Do your thing. Can you be more precise, please?
For 6 points of damage.
Okay. Yes, that's
2 bullets down.
Okay. Let's see. Where you hit him. I would say definitely not the head. So I would say 1, 2, 3 on a d6. It's the torso. 4, 5, 6. It's the legs. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a 2, so you do hit him in the torso.
Okay.
And he falls over. I mean, he got shot. It's as simple as that. So, and he is. Let's see if he actually still reacts, or if he's basically just With a 49, let's see how his stamina is. His constitution, I should say. I'm sorry. He keeps crawling towards you. He's trying to get up. What do you do?
She would actually go towards him and would try to blankly point really the gun at his head now.
Yes, you can do that. He's not very fast.
And she would say, "Where's Matthew?"
What? What?
Where is Matthew?
This is why you're here?
Yes.
He's at the Roland's farmstead. What? Please let me go. I'm bleeding to death.
Let her go.
And he looks, he followed, and he said, this is beyond me. This is out of my hands. They are here to take their sacrifice. They deserve it.
She will turn around to the guys. Take him instead.
They don't react.
She will try to grab the rope of Morton and will try to pull him towards the creatures. Basically on the hood. Basically,
I know
just
what you mean.
pulling.
Okay, so now this is interesting because here you're actually fighting against his size. He is actually very big. So if you give me a roll on that's strength now, yeah.
At least she will try and see if it works. It's a success.
How much did you roll?
A
What did you
44.
roll? 44.
And I have
okay.
50, so a success, but not a really good success.
Okay, so now let's do some swift math in my head. So you've got 50 as strength, and he weighs 70, which is half as much. So yeah, you would need a hard success. So you don't. I mean, he's just too heavy. I mean, it's
Useless.
Suddenly, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh goodness gracious again. Okay.
You can't touch them on this plane. You need to go where they really are. Hold on. And you see that everything starts turning. It's the voice of the boy. And everything starts turning.
She will hold on to the gun.
Okay,
because
yeah.
that's the only thing she has to hold on.
You can hold on to the gun. It's just that you have this weird sensation like everything is spinning around you and you feel like you're the center of the universe, and the whole universe has just decided to spin around you 180 degrees, and you suddenly see yourself in the place that you were in once before, where you saw the sign and everything, and it's dark and you can still hear these noises. Remember those scratching noises that you heard in this really weird. And you hear the voice in your head, and he says, "Follow the noise. That's where they live."
She will take a deep breath, and
you can now lose 4 stability for me because that has all been too much.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. She will follow the noise.
Okay.
She is focusing on, I need to save the girl now, and the second thought is I need to get out to save Matthew.
Yeah. Okay, so you follow the noise and you come to what looks like the farmstead. And the door is open, and it's almost like instead of light streaming out, there is darkness streaming out. You can see darkness in darkness. Do you go inside?
Yes.
That's where the noises come from. Okay. You step inside and suddenly it all looks different. Suddenly there is kind of like this white mist. It's swirling around you. And look, there's an hourglass. And there's another one. And there's one over there. And you're suddenly in the middle of hourglasses, which are pretty much your height. And they are all, the sand is running at different speeds and they're all at different heights. And you see one that is almost drained, and you hear the voice and says, "That's me. Ignore that one. You can't save me. Go for the one that is my sister."
She will look around and try to see, and probably whisper, "Which one is your sister?"
It's the one that's running fastest.
she will look around and see if she can find.
You can actually, I mean, you look around and you can see that they're all running at different speeds. His is going very slowly because it's almost drained. And the other ones are kind of in the middle, but there is one that is running really quickly.
She will step towards that one. Can she try to just turn it around?
That is an interesting question. Why don't you make a POW check?
Because that would be her first idea, to turn it around.
That's a really good idea that nobody in this book has, but hey.
Because she destroyed a lot today. She is not sure what happened if she does that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I like that idea much better.
That is a success. Yes.
Okay, how much by?
I have 36 and I have 55 in power.
Okay. You touch it and you realize you can't move it with strength because it won't budge. But you feel like the fact that you're touching it is making it change. So, how about you make another power check, please?
No.
Okay. It has moved. It's now standing still again, but it has moved. So do 2 more power checks and we will see if it resists, if they manage to resist you.
That's barely a success. And okay, so the first one was a 54, so barely a success, and the second one is a 3, which is a critical success.
Okay, so they resist, they tried to resist, they didn't manage to, so they failed their first roll, and yours was a success. So your second one is a critical success. Yeah. So that was a success on their part, but not a critical one. So you actually managed to turn it.
Okay.
And what do? Do you turn it around completely, or do you basically? Okay, so you turn it.
Do I turn it around completely? Yes.
Or you could also. Okay, so you turn it around, and you hear a scream of fury. And suddenly those 2 guys come out of nowhere and they're standing in front of you and they're saying, "We will have our sacrifice."
Can she now point and try to shoot again?
Absolutely, please do.
And not the hourglass, but one of the guys.
No, obviously I know what you mean, yes. And I mean, you wouldn't, they're so close if you, unless you roll a 100, in which case you jam your gun.
I rolled a 44, which is a success.
Okay, make damage.
No, it's a D10. Oh, that's a 9 plus 2, 11 points.
Oh wow, that's yeah. You an interesting effect happens. It's almost like his chest opens and whatever is inside is actually like the essence that you saw, and it's almost like a vacuum. You know, when people get sucked into space, so everything that is inside him gets sucked into this area. You can roll a d10 for me, please.
3.
Regain that much sanity. And you suddenly see out the corner of your eyes that some of these hourglasses start running backwards.
That's good.
The other one is now stepping up and he's trying to attack you. And he doesn't hit.
She will turn around and try to get to the other one with the gun. Oh wait,
yeah, he's within reach because he just basically swiped at you with his hand, with his claws.
Then she will at least... Oh, that is even a hard success.
Okay, yeah, make damage.
No, that's again D10. That is a 12 points because I rolled a 10.
The same effect. Only the hourglasses are replenishing even more quickly. And the other one is, as you turn back to the other one, he seems to be actually becoming more and more translucent, and it's like he is dissolving in front of your eyes.
She would run over to the hourglass of the boy.
Mm-hmm. That has not replenished. It's actually fallen down. It's completely empty.
It's empty now?
Yeah.
She'll probably just loudly say out, "I'm sorry, I was too late."
You hear no reply.
Okay. She will look around because she needs a way out.
There is still the door behind you.
She will walk towards the door.
You walk towards the door and you step outside and set foot on the island. You can see the stone house from where you are. It's like you stepped out of... You turn around, there is nothing behind you.
It's daytime.
It's daytime.
She will walk towards the front door.
The front door is locked.
She will knock and yell, "Dottie?"
Miss Baker?
Could you please let me in?
How do I know it's you?
Don't be silly.
She looks out the window. Oh, it is you. She opens the door.
Just give me a second.
How?
I will explain. Keep an eye on those troublemakers, and she will go down the steps again.
Mm-hmm.
Carefully step over the guy. Mm-hmm. She will take her cane, because then she's quicker, and she will try to get at the hall as quick as she can.
Yes, it's much quicker now because you know where you're going, you know what to expect. Let's see how Mr. Morton's doing. The thing is, you see two... It looks like somebody just left their clothes on the ground. You see two dark black coats and hats, and the girl is lying on the floor. She's breathing. 68. Oh dear. Dear Mr. Morton didn't make it.
Great. She will go for the girl and see... Oh god, let me see. I know her name. I heard her name. I just need to find it. I should mark names. That would help.
It took me a while to find out what her name was because it wasn't obvious to me either. Her name's Eve.
Eve. Thank you. She would kneel down next to Eve and would probably shake her. Eve?
She opens her eyes.
I'm Alice. Don't panic. You're safe now.
Where did they go? These men.
I think I finished them. I'm sorry I could not save your brother.
But he died years ago.
Well, he showed me the way how to save you. But he's gone now, for good. He was still sticking around.
So I didn't imagine it.
No, he was definitely there, and those weird things as well. Come on. She will carefully try to help Eve up.
Interestingly enough, Eve is actually quite... she seems okay. I mean, there is nothing. You can't see any wounds. She looks well nourished. Considering that she has been kidnapped, she seems okay. She gets up, and
also Alice will pull the coat, the rope off, and will just drop it. No, she will keep it over her arm, and she will carefully walk the girl back towards the stair.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember coming down here.
Maybe they carried you. Maybe they sedated you.
Yeah, I remember sleeping.
Yeah.
Feeling very tired.
I know that feeling.
And you walk up the stairs, and there is Dottie, and
Before we walk downstairs, Alice would cover the body at the front of the stair, basically with a rope.
Yeah.
And would lead Eve upstairs.
Dottie is there, and she's like, "That's the girl."
Yeah, that's her, Eve. That's Dottie.
And she kneels down. She's like, "Hi, Eve. I'm Dottie." Dottie has lost it somehow.
Dottie, dear, why don't you... grab the camera again and walk with Eve towards our boat, please?
The rowboat?
Yeah, the rowboat.
Absolutely, yes. I'll see you there. And she says, "We've got our own boat. Well, just for the day." And she talks to the girl. She's now regained her composure
give
a
her
little
some
bit.
food and some drinks.
And I've got really lovely sandwiches and some lemonade. Would you like some lemonade? And Eve is like, "Actually, I would." And so
we'll see you in a second.
So she takes her by the hand, and the two of them walk out, and you can tell that Dottie is calming down now. She's a lot less tense than she was. Chatting to the girl is obviously doing her a lot of good. And then she vanishes from sight. They walk around the corner.
They walk around the corner. I will close the trapdoor.
Yeah.
And I will point to the two guys. Come on, stand up.
What did you do, lady?
Up to the boat. You go.
Out, and they walk out, and they go towards their boat on the pier.
Towards their boat.
Yeah, okay.
I will ask them to get on the boat, basically.
They look at you skeptically, but they do. They comply.
Before, or maybe even if they're on, she would look around. Would by any chance there be a canister with petrol or anything? Because is this this is not a rowing boat.
No.
It has a motor, I'm quite sure.
Yes.
She will pick up the canister and put it on the pier next to her. She will do one shot into the motor of the boat. Not the boat itself, but the motor, that it's hopefully broken. And she will cut the boat loose and just push it away, that it floats. And she will just tell the others, I will tell the Coast Guard that there is a drifting boat. They will find you, no worries.
Okay. Make a stability check, please. You are being very evil.
That's a 7. I am fine.
Yes, you are fine. But
I honestly just want to buy time, because if they are found, it will go quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
but
she totally intends to tell someone that there's a boat drifting out there and they need help.
Okay, let's see what they think.
Make sure to not fall off the boat, please.
Yes, they are panicking.
The thing is, if they're relaxing, they can probably tie each other off because they're standing next to each other. No one else is there.
Yeah, but they're not thinking clearly at the moment. Okay, so basically they drift into, well, not the sunset, but almost they drift away from the current actually takes them away from the island. Okay, what do you do?
Everything was stone. It was a stone house.
What do you mean, this one here or the Roland's
this one
farmstead?
here.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's tempted to burn the place, but she will not be able to burn the place if it's made of stone.
You would doubt that. You would be able to set fire to the thatched roof, but that's just going to take down the roof. That's all it's going to accomplish.
In the hall downstairs, was there something like an altar or anything that the girl was floating over?
Not that you noticed. It was really just something. Like it was empty.
She will then just drop down the canister, because probably in front of the door, because she's looking at it and just finding out on her own, like, this is not helping and this will not work. So she will just drop it and she will walk as quick as possible to follow the other two and to get to the boat.
Okay, yeah, you follow them. It takes you a while, 20 minutes, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, you arrive. The two of them are sitting next to the boat and are seal watching.
Good. Okay, the other two are on their boat, so safe as well. Let's get off this island, girls. What do you think?
I think that's a really good idea.
I think
says
Jim
Dottie.
Jim is also starting to worry because we've been gone for a while.
Okay, so the three of you get in the boat. You're much better at rowing this time now because you know what you need to do, and you can see the boat and you're just steering straight towards it and you arrive. And Jim is like, that's a weird seal, and he points at Eve.
Well, we found her tied up on the island. She was missing.
What? Who would
Yes.
tie up a girl? And he basically he has thrown down these two cables that you need to tie off on the two sides of the
Yeah,
boat. And then
we will
yeah.
put them on the boat at the end.
And he takes her by the waist and takes her physically up into the air and then sets her down and says, "Somebody, are they still there? Because I have a couple of words for them."
No, don't worry. Two of them are somewhere out there on a boat, drifting along. We should maybe, if we're back, we should tell the harbor master that maybe a coast guard should catch them.
The two guys that took that girl are drifting somewhere. Well, how about we just leave them to their own devices for a while?
Yeah, that was my idea. I shot the motor, so the motor can't work. So they're not drowning, but they are drifting along.
Remind me never to get on the wrong side of you, Missy.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Alice will pick up her handbag, will rummage around. She will pull out $10 now. We'll give it to Jim. Thank you for waiting for that long. And would you mind? I think I'm not really. We should bring Eve back home. I think that's the main focus. So if we could turn back to the harbor, that would be too lovely.
Oh, of course, your wish is my command. And he turns on the engine and you...
The moment he turns on the engine, she would pistol overboard.
Okay, you throw your pistol into the Atlantic Ocean. And it sinks to the bottom, never to be seen again.
That is the idea.
And basically, it didn't take you that long because now he's actually making a straight line for it. So because the way on your way here, you basically took the long scenic route and you arrive at the harbor. He ties off, so somebody casts a rope to him and he ties off, and so the boat is secured. They put out this thing that you walk on, the gangway, I suppose, and you just walk off. What do? You have arrived in Simmon's Strand.
Eve, should we drive you home?
Yes, I think my parents must be worried.
I'm quite sure, because you've been missing for a few days, I think. And they can then in peace and quiet call the police, and however you want to handle it.
I'm not sure if they will believe me when I tell them what happened.
I am quite sure they won't. That's why I'm hesitant as well. But, well, let's get you there. Thank you so much, Jim. It was still a very nice tour. Have a really lovely day. And next time we're here as guests, we will try again with the photo tour in peace and quiet.
Well, you know where I am, and you know the kitty. She's waiting for you. And have a lovely day. And he basically salutes you. And he says, well, I can go home early now because I have made more money than I normally would on a single day. And he
But remember, it's only $3.
Of course it is only $3, and it was just the one seal that we saw from the boat.
Yeah. And she will, turn around and with Dottie and Eve walk towards a car.
You walk towards the car. She gives you directions. You take her to her parents' farm, which is not too far. As we know, it's one farm over from the Rowlands farmstead. So you actually pass the entrance to the Rowlands farmhouse. You drop her off. Her parents are beside themselves with... They're trying to invite you in for coffee, tea, cakes, whatever. Shower her with affection. What do you do? Do you stay with them? Do you...
I have someone to catch. I'm sorry, I have something else to do, but I'm really glad you're in one piece, and we will definitely peek in before we leave.
All right. Well then, I honestly don't know how to thank you, Miss Baker. I mean, what can we do to make? I mean,
just take care of Eve. That's all you have to do.
We will, and you see that. I mean, they're just so genuinely happy and relieved, and
and by the way, I'm really sorry about your son. My condolences.
Thank you, but at least we have her back.
That is the good thing to focus on.
And I suppose you drive to the Rowlands farmstead.
Yes.
Okay.
And she will stop the car right in front of the door.
Okay, so the lady that you saw before has not been unbusy. She is actually stepping outside and she says, "Oh, it's you again. I told you that I live here, and I told you that I've got permission from Mr. Morton to live here, and I don't understand why you keep bothering me."
I'm not here for you. Just let me... I'm not here for you, and she will go for the front door.
Okay. Do you want to basically walk past her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a bit surprised, so you sidestep her.
I will just open the front door and step inside.
Okay. And, she's like, "What? You can't do this. This is private property. What are you doing?" Dottie gets out and she does something weird. She basically plants herself between you and that woman and holds up her cane like this, blocking the door.
Bless her. I will not steal anything. That's yours. Don't worry. Matthew, and she will start going into the house and will call for Matthew.
Okay, let's see.
She doesn't even care if there's someone else in here.
Okay, they are all deaf.
That's good.
He doesn't hear you.
Okay.
You don't hear anything.
Then...
But you do see that this is a house. It's got 2 floors, like you remembered, and it's also got a cellar.
She will do the main floor first. She will just walk through look in every room.
There is 2 rooms downstairs, so one big kitchen, living room, and one kind of like pantry. And then there's like stairs to the first floor, and then stairs to the cellar.
She will open... Is there a door to the cellar or just...
No, it's just
down?
basically going downstairs.
She will listen downstairs.
Make a
if
listen
she can
roll.
hear anything. Because she's now thinking about maybe there are more guys in robes. Listen is a success.
Okay, you don't hear anything.
But
that doesn't mean anything. It's
no,
just,
that doesn't mean anything. She will carefully go down the stairs, and if there is a light switch, she will turn on the light.
There isn't, but you come to a door, which, unlike the rest of the house, looks brand new, and it's bolted from the outside. So basically from where you are.
Yeah, she will open or unbolt the door.
You open the door, and
she will carefully peek inside.
You see on the floor a human figure lying. that is tied with chains to the wall.
Do I see anyone else?
No,
Is it just the one room?
it's just the one room, yes.
She will open the door and step closer and will...
It's Matthew.
Yeah, that was her suspicion. Then she will probably run over and try to see if she can get him out of the chains. Or first of all, try to see if he's still alive and breathing. That would be first of all.
He is alive, he is breathing.
Okay.
He's also barely conscious.
She will just whisper, "I'm getting you out of here." And she will try to unchain him.
That is actually possible because the chains are such that because he's fastened like this, he can't do anything. But
Okay, but
if you're
someone's
standing in front of him, you can just basically unchain him.
And she will try to hold him, or that he can lean on her.
He actually just slumps against the wall and
She will try to, before he slumps down, try to hold him.
yeah, you can do that. No problem.
Using her cane to also carry a bit of the weight, and then she will try to just, "You have to work with me, Matthew. Come on."
Let's see
She
if he knows
will
who you
maybe
are.
try to pat him in the face very carefully.
He is a bit, he's not feeling well, and he's like, "Alice, is that you?
Yes, I'm sorry it took me that long.
What are you doing here?"
I'm getting you out of here. Come on. One step after the other.
He tries to walk, and it's very hard, but
We
the two
will-
of you manage.
Oh god, the stairs up will be fun, but probably, honestly, she will yell upstairs. She will yell for Dottie.
Did you do something to your microphone because you're just very silent all of a moment?
No, I haven't.
It almost sounded like you touched it or something.
No, that is weird.
Yeah.
She will call for Dottie. Just,
Okay.
"Dottie, dear, we need some help."
Dottie's like, "What?
ignore-
Who's we?"
Well, Matthew is a bit weak on his legs.
You've got Matthew. Okay, you hear a commotion. You don't know what it is, but you hear a sound, and then you hear footsteps, and she is running down the stairs.
Alice will just probably smile a bit because she suspects that Dottie used a cane. And come on, I need some help to get him off the stairs.
She runs down. She's like, "Okay, so how do we want to do this?"
You left, I right, and we just try to step by step get him up there.
You managed to do this. It's a lot harder than... it is as hard as you thought it was going to be. You make it upstairs. You see that the woman is sitting there, and she's basically doubled over holding her stomach. And she's like, "She just didn't agree with me going downstairs. I had to act."
You did very well.
And and then the two of you, or the three of you, do you walk out of the building, or what do you do?
I just walk out the building, or we walk out towards the car.
You walk out towards the car, you get in the car. What do you do? Where do you go?
We are driving to the chalet.
To the chalet. You've got all your stuff in the car, by the way. Remember, you packed everything.
Oh,
it's all
we
in the car.
packed everything already in the car.
Yeah.
Then we are... I would look at my watch. How late is it?
I would say it's almost 3 o'clock at this stage, if not even 4.
We will drive... towards the train station.
You drive towards the train station. There is only the one. You arrive at the train station.
If I remember right, the train already left for the day.
Yes, it arrives at 16:48 and then it returns. But you don't know. I don't know if you remember when it returns.
Right, we came in the afternoon. So
Yes, you arrive at 16:48 precisely, and if the train then goes back, it'll it'll take a while. So it's, yeah, you'll
She will ask Dottie to, dear, could you check if the train back to the city is still available?
With a 17 on her luck, it is. It doesn't leave until 17:32.
Just get her 3 tickets, dear.
She runs in and she gets 3 tickets, no problem. First class, of course, because that's the only carriage that goes as far as Simmon Strand.
Exactly. And then she will go, she will just drop the car outside. Just keep it there. She will... There was like the guy who she talked to in the beginning who said hello to us when we came there. It was Morton and there was someone else, wasn't there?
There was the train station.
The train station.
master.
Exactly. She would look for the train station master.
Yes. Yes, miss.
Two maybe weird requests.
Miss.
Would you have a piece of paper and an envelope? Or basically 2 pieces of paper and 2 envelopes for me.
Of course, certainly. And what's the second request?
Could you then hand out or bring the envelopes later on to the 2 people here in town?
Oh, I can definitely see that they get delivered.
That would be lovely.
He walks away and he comes back with 2 envelopes and 2 cream-colored pieces of paper.
She will write...
And he hands you a pencil just in case.
That's really, really lovely. She will take the pencil gladly. So the first one goes to the harbor master with just, there is a boat drifting outside with 2 men on there. The motor is broke. And it's near the island that drifted off the pier. And that would be letter first to the harbor master. And the second one would be the keys with a small letter, thank you for the car.
To whoever who's dead in the...
Whoever is there, but she will keep it up. Thank you for the car, returning the keys, and will,
address it to Mr. Morton.
Mr. Morton Company.
Mm-hmm. Morton and Sons, yeah.
Will basically tell him that the harbor master would be good to hand out in person to the harbor master. The keys can just be dropped in the mailbox because it's just returning the car keys. It's not urgent.
Very well, miss.
Thank you so much.
I will see to it that it gets done.
And I guess Dottie also organized that someone got all our stuff from the car into the train.
Well, there are porters, they've already done this. You can see that, as you see, she has managed to get him in. On your way back, she has managed to feed him something and to give him something to drink.
Good.
He has been drinking ravenously from the water flask that she gave him, and he really liked the piccalilli sandwiches. And she's managed to put him on the train, and you can see that he's actually sitting next to the window, and she's sitting next to him. Basically, she's almost like, putting down like a napkin and everything. You can almost hear her voice in your head saying, and now we eat. And she's ready. So basically you now need to run to make the train.
Yeah, I will run to make the train. I will get inside. I will drop next to Matthew. I will just pat his leg probably and be like, I'm sorry we didn't get your stuff. We will call the hotel that they ship the stuff back to your place.
How did you find me anyway?
Someone told me that you were... Honestly, I suspected you were at the farmstead, but the lady scared us off. But then I got the note that you are definitely at the farmstead, so I had to come and grab you.
I guess this whole private eye thing is really your thing now, isn't it?
It seems so.
You're very good at it.
What happened? I'm still not sure what happened to you.
Well, I told you that everything was going fine. I had all of the contracts ready. I was going to have them signed on actually tomorrow. And everything was going swimmingly, so, And then there was this thing. There is this farmhouse where you found me. And something really terrible happened there. A whole family was murdered, except for the girl.
Yeah, Eve. No.
Oh, Eve was her name. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't say it in the newspaper. And Mr. Morton had bought that farmhouse.
Mhm.
And he wanted to develop it as a spa. But the story is known. And he wanted me to draw up a contract or something that would prevent people from slandering his name or the name of the spa by associating it with this. And I told him that this wasn't possible because that's illegal. You know, you can't just suppress information like that, especially also because everybody knows it was in the papers. I mean, maybe not in New York, maybe not in Boston, but you know, people around here know. And what are you going to do when tourists come and they mention where they're staying, and somebody says, oh yeah, that's the place where this family was slaughtered, what are you gonna do? You know, and I explained it to him, and he wasn't very happy about it, and he said he was gonna get another lawyer, and I said, yes, please do, because I cannot help you with this, and no, none of my colleagues will be able to, because there is no such contract that you can draw up. And I thought it was all weird, and then, you know, I had some time to myself, so I took a walk and I went to that farmstead because I really wanted to see the place because I'd read so much about it. I mean, I even went, you know, I went to the library, I talked, and I got some books as well. And there I found the name and a book. And some weird stuff, some symbols in that book. It was all kind of crazy. It was all about, you know, conjuring spirits, and it's all like crazy talk, you know. And I went back to my hotel room that night, and I read some, and then I hear a noise in the next room in my office, and I go in, and there are two men standing there next to the window, and that's the last that I remember. And then I woke up in that cellar.
Just to be curious, who was the lady with the lipstick?
What lady?
Okay. The two men are not anymore. And you're lucky to be alive. You need to be more careful in choosing your client, dear.
Well, he was a very good client until it all turned really weird.
I have to admit, I did not suspect in the beginning that he was the one. He was really nice. He's good in playing a charade.
Yes, he was. What do you mean was?
Was.
He's also no more.
Sadly so, or not so sadly so, I have to admit, after all that happened.
You killed him?
He attacked me.
It was self-defense. There will not be a single judge on this planet that will send someone like you to prison for killing somebody who... Oh, we're not going to tell anyone, are we?
I'm not sure they will find out, and I'm not presenting myself. If the police show up and ask me directly, I will say self-defense. I saved Eve. That was the main point. Because he kidnapped her. Or
Why?
I guess the two guys that kidnapped you kidnapped her as well.
Why?
Well, she's linked to the farmstead, isn't she?
Yes, but why kill her now? I mean, it's the farmstead is no longer hers. It was sold, and it was rightfully sold. The money went into a fund for her, which is...
Mr. Morton, I would say he's a cult. I think that points it in the best direction.
What?
And they tried to sacrifice Eve to whatever thing they thought they sacrificed her to.
That is pure evil.
Yes.
And there I was thinking somebody was trying to just basically do some real estate shady dealings, but you're talking about cults and sacrificing children? I mean, sacrificing anyone is terrible at the best of times, but a child?
I am also not sure if you would have been the next one to be sacrificed. So
He gets even paler. And Dottie's like, now. Maybe now is the time for something stronger. And she looks at you, kind of like...
she will pull out the flask of her purse and put it in front of Matthew. Maybe
And
drink a bit, dear.
And Dottie gives him one of the cups that she has, and she actually fills in the whiskey.
Actually, Alice will pull back the flask and she will just see if she can get the nice guy who goes through the train who is there to help.
Yes, absolutely.
Needed.
Every 30 minutes, unless you wave at him, in which case he will come sooner.
She will wave at him. Sir, just to be curious, could we get something like a brandy or whiskey, please?
Of course, madam. What would you like? Brandy or whiskey? We have both.
For me, a whiskey. Dottie?
I think I'll have one too.
Then 3 whiskey, please.
And he says, very well, miss. And he steps away and he comes back and he hands you 3 glasses of really nice whiskey tumblers with...
That's what Alice said. Really nice. Probably with a bit of ice and just...
Yeah.
Well, Morton is no more. The 2 guys hopefully never show up again. I highly doubt they will. And Eve is saved.
He looks very pensive. At some point, I mean, he stops. He doesn't say much for a long time. And at some point, Dottie gets up and says, well, I'm just going to powder my nose. And she leaves. And then he looks at you and he says, the woman is a woman I don't have the courage to love.
Okay.
And he looks really crestfallen.
You know that you deserve every single woman that is out there. If you want to be with her, go for it. You learned life is short.
That is true. That is true. I will see what she says when I get back to New York.
Just contact me if you need a little kick in the right direction.
And he gives you a smile. It's a weak smile, but it is a genuine smile. And after a very long time, like easily 30 minutes, you can hear footsteps, which you recognize as Dottie's, but she's walking really slowly, and then she stops. And then she comes close and she says, is this seat taken?
Please sit down.
And she sits down.
Alice will probably pull out her notebook and make some scribbles and notes. Just for herself. And will then just look outside or either go into a light chit-chat if Matthew or Dottie goes into chit-chat mode, although I'm quite sure Matthew as well as Alice probably are more looking outside, peace and quiet.
Dottie is not really in chit-chat mode either. She actually realizes that you are going to be occupied anyway, so she doesn't feel guilty, and she pulls out a book and she starts reading. That is good. Yeah, and the train at some point eventually pulls into Grand Central Station. You get off. The porters look after your luggage. And Matthew says, I think I'll drop by my parents today.
I think that would be good, and please give your assistant a call because she knows that we couldn't find you. She will be worried as well.
Oh yes, I will. Okay, yeah,
and
thank you for letting me know.
She can organize that you get your stuff that is still in the hotel. I'm sure the hotel will be nice enough to pack up the things and send it over to you.
Oh, I was actually very impressed with them. They're very excellent staff there.
They were really, really nice and helpful.
I wish I'd met the owner. They were talking so highly of him, but he was never available. I would have liked to have met him because apparently he's planning a kind of day clinic or even clinic for people with lung diseases, I think the air would be perfect. It would be very interesting to hear more about it. But I mean, I did put in a request to speak to him, but it was politely declined. He was indisposed, but you know.
Maybe give it a bit and try it again.
I will, because that would be quite interesting to see how this develops.
Simmon Strand is a place with really, really nice people and history that a lot of people would be interested in. Not so much the farmstead, but how it was created. You know, even the...
You mean that crazy guy?
Yeah. You know that Morton is a descendant of him.
I read that in the book, and I mean, at this stage, after all you've told me, maybe that's not even surprising.
No, it's not surprising. He is a real descendant. There's even a church in the backyard of Morton's home.
You were at Morton's home?
Well,
Wow, I never got there. Is it nice?
Well, I only saw the front and the butler.
Well,
but,
still.
It looked impressive.
Okay. Well,
and we heard about the church. Although
maybe
that's the church normal people don't seem to go to, because I guess that's where the cult had fun hanging out.
Great. But, I mean, I really want to go back there. But just for a week, not working, just taking in the sun, lying on the beach, eating healthily or not so healthily, and just not doing anything. But this time round, I'm not gonna, even go near Morton's place.
Don't have to. If you want to have a ride on a boat around and a good tourist guide, ask for Jim. He's a good one.
I will.
And Jim on the Kitty. His boat is the Kitty, just in case. Probably there are more than just one Jim out there.
Probably. And basically you're walking through the station, the porters are carrying your luggage, and then basically he hails a taxi for you guys, for the girls, for the ladies, and then he hails a taxi for himself. And then he says, oh, I don't even have money.
Alice will...
He flushes. He blushes completely. He's like, I am so sorry, Alice.
It's special circumstances. I'm just happy that you're standing right in front of me.
You will get the money back. You will get the money back tomorrow. I will get my assistant to wire it to you. I'm so embarrassed.
Matthew, I would never doubt that you will give me the money back. Alice will hand him enough money that he can get to his parents without any problems.
Yeah, okay, it's not that expensive, the fares in New York City, and yeah, you do, and you pay the driver.
The only thing you need to do is promise me to give me a call tomorrow, and we will set up a date that you come over for a nice dinner.
Oh, I will. I will definitely call you tomorrow, and I will call my assistant when I get to my parents. I have a private number just so that she's not worried, because I'm not going to go into work tomorrow. There is no way.
No, please, take a few days off and rest and get your strength back.
Yeah. And he gets into the car, and your driver holds the doors for you. You get in. The porters put your luggage into the trunk. You drive off to your house, to the lovely house that we've all looked at, and it's beautiful. You come in, and the driver actually carries your luggage. You unlock the door, he puts it into the hallway. He leaves. You pay. He leaves, and Dottie's like, seriously? That was something else. What happened downstairs? What happened?
Not sure you really want to know the details.
Oh, you bet.
Then
There was something evil going on.
there was, and I'm still not sure what it was in detail. Let's unpack. Although it's late, we can unpack tomorrow. It doesn't hurt to keep it in there for a bit longer. Should we go out for some dinner? Because it's probably already quite late, isn't it? It's a night.
Well, it's about 3.5. I don't know what we said, but I think it's 3 hours and 20 minutes by train. So it's now 9 o'clock. 10, half 9.
Let's see if we can grab some dinner somewhere.
Oh,
And-
yes, Vittoria should still be open.
I think so. And let's see if we can get a table in the corner and with a bit of wine and good food.
She rings the restaurant, and of course they have a table for Miss Baker.
Then we will go there, have a really nice dinner. Also that Dottie doesn't have to work and just enjoy. With a bottle of red wine. And Alice will tell Dottie everything that happened that she's seen. Everything. She will not keep anything back. Even the weird things with the hourglass and the voice of the kid. And also what happened down in the hall, basically. That the one guy is dead, but that was definitely an accident. And for Morton, it was kind of self-defense.
She listens to you quite quietly. She doesn't really say anything. And after you've finished, she looks at you. And she puts down her knife and fork next to her plate. And she looks at you really, really hard. And she says, they got everything they deserved. Everything. And I hope they roast in hell.
Still, I would feel better if I wouldn't have killed anyone.
I can imagine that you would feel better. And there is nothing I can say or anyone to make that feeling go away.
No, I can only hold on to we saved Eve
And Matthew.
and Matthew.
If you hadn't gone there, he would probably have died of starvation.
Probably, I'm not sure if the old weird lady would have.
Well, while you were
Fed him.
still outside talking to the train station master, I spoke to him and he said he hadn't been given any food or drink since they had taken him.
Then I feel even worse that I wasn't more persistent the first time we were there, because I had the gut feeling that he was at the farmstead.
Yes, but I mean, it is private property, you know that, and she was saying she was there, and it was her home, so it's a bit difficult to do a home invasion just based on gut feeling. That is not you.
Yeah, but I could have gone back in the evening and be quiet about it.
But
I
she,
could have found Maria.
who knows, she would probably have been there at night as well, but I mean, there is no use crying over spilled milk. You did find him eventually, and he is still alive.
True.
And he
He's all in
seemed
peace.
unharmed physically. Hungry, thirsty, yes, but
That can
unharmed.
be.
Nothing that cannot be mended.
Well, I'm glad that we saved at least 2 lives that are important to be saved. And let's see what Murphy is now doing with Morton gone.
It's going to be interesting. I really would like to go back to the hotel one day and just basically for a week, you
Me
know,
too. Me
just
too.
enjoy Simmon
Maybe
Strand. And maybe take
next-
another trip on the kitty.
Next summer, maybe we can keep it in mind, because the place is really lovely. The food was excellent. And
Yes.
honestly, I still like the idea of the chalets. It's a really nice addition to the hotel.
Who knows? Maybe Murphy will step up and buy them. I mean, Morton's gone. God knows if they will ever find him.
If Eve is not saying anything and the 2 weirdos are not saying anything,
They'd not better say anything because they are in deep trouble. If they say what they know and Eve identifies them as being there, there will be hell to pay.
we will see if the police show up at our doorstep to talk to me.
I can totally imagine Officer Flanagan showing up.
Well, if it's Flanagan, it's easy to talk to, because I don't really care. It's a question if someone else shows up.
We will see.
We will see.
And you pay, you go home. And what you didn't have time to do before, or, well, you weren't bothered, Dottie checks for messages.
Okay.
And there is a letter from your mother. She requests your presence at a ball that she is giving with a date.
The date is in the past?
No,
We missed
unfortunately, it's in 7 days.
it? Goodness grace.
And
Alice
it says RSVP.
I've gone through hell already. Why this again?
Dottie looks at you and she says, if you don't do it, I will. I will ring her tomorrow and accept on your behalf. But I'd rather you did it.
It's too late to call now. I will call tomorrow morning.
And she smiles and she says, I'm going to put this on the table by your seat so that you don't forget. And she gives you a really smug smile.
It will only be about I need to meet nice man because I'm still not married. And by now I should know how to run a household together with you, which we kind of do very well, thanks to you.
Yes, but I mean, yes, I'm not sure if that's actually what she was hoping for, but yes, maybe don't discuss it. Maybe don't even go there. Just show up. Make polite conversation with whoever. Maybe that young man is there again that you told me about, the one that's so fascinated with the Titanic going down. You could talk to him. He sounded like fun. I mean, until your mother told him, his mother told him not to talk about the Titanic going down.
I think the main question is, can we talk in peace and quiet? Yes, he is a nice guy, but if the parents are around, no way on earth to have a proper conversation about interesting stuff.
I will make sure that you have the loveliest flower bouquet to give to your mother. It's going to be just the colors that she likes and just the kinds that she likes. Let this, you just go shopping for a really lovely dress and I will take care of the flowers.
I'm tempted to use one of the dresses I have in my...
Well, I mean, you have lovely dresses.
I do. I'm not sure I want to spend money for that. We will see. Tomorrow's a new day. Maybe I feel a bit different about it. Maybe Matthew wants to go with me to keep my mother off my head.
As your +1.
Maybe.
It does say that you can bring a guest. I'm pretty sure she didn't mean me.
I would love to bring you, but I think we both will be in big trouble if we do so.
Yes. I would spend the rest of the evening in the kitchen because that's where it suits me best. I like your mother, you know that, but she can be trying.
She can? She is trying. But hey, we will see. Honestly, no, I wouldn't want to bother Matthew after what he's been through to face my mother and all the shenanigans happening there, so I guess I will face this alone.
And you will do marvelously.
Well, I know how to survive. I will survive that as well.
And with that, she says goodnight and goes to her room. She does take her bag with her, and you can do whatever you like.
I will make sure the back door and front door are properly locked.
Yes, of course.
Being more paranoid probably as ever. And then I will sit down in the study with probably putting on a record with some nice jazz or something like... Oh, jazz wasn't... No, started during the time. So I think jazz would be something in the background maybe. And a nice drink. And would probably just sit at the window looking outside on the street and mulling again through what happened, trying to make some sense out of this. Having the notebook next to her with a pen and just adding a few things. Probably also scribbling a bit and trying to draw the weird creatures. And just trying to get it out on paper that she can maybe let go of this.
Okay. And with that, we finish Simmon Strand, and the next adventure is called A Study in Ice. We hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I hope you enjoyed it too.
I really
Alice.
enjoyed it. I'm glad we saved Matthew. Poor Matthew.
And yeah, we have another date already for continuing this, and there will be a ball, and then there will be a study in ice. So until then, stay safe and have a lovely evening. Bye.
Bye.